Hello everyone, it's Mr.206. Before the video starts, I just want to let you guys know that this was recorded at the same time the first part was recorded. But because part 1 was so long, I decided to split this video up into 2 parts. And this is part 2. If you guys want to see the first part, I will link it in the description down below. Now to continue on to the video, I hope you guys enjoy.
Alright, next up, Misery. Now, I didn't play this game for long at all. I think I only played this game for like 3 or 4 hours. Because I saw a bunch of YouTubers were playing it when it first came out. And I was like, damn, that was pretty good. I'm a big fan of like Stalker and Metro. I like the whole Soviet Chernobyl irradiated zone game, right? But the thing is, Stalker and Metro, they're story games. Misery is an open world survival craft game, but set in roughly like the same setting as those other 2 games. I was like, damn, I want to play that. And then I did. So basically in this game, you create your character and you start off in your own. Now, I didn't understand what was happening, but basically it was like you have like 1 minute in your home to grab as much as you can and hide in the bunker. Now, I didn't understand that. I kind of just grabbed some items, looked around, looking for lore or something. And then I realized there was a nuke coming. It killed me. But it's fine because you just respawn back in your bunker after the nuke dropped. The way this game is laid out, I think it's like every like 3 days or something like that, a nuke is gonna drop. And in between that time, you've got to go out into the world and get a bunch of loot, you know, craft, build up your bunker, get better items, kill enemies. And like every 3 days, the nuke drops. And this is the one thing I fucking love about the game. After the nuke drops, the next time you go out into the world, everything's been randomized. It's procedurally generated. Every 3 days, the map gets reset and it's entirely different. And I found that to be really fucking cool. Like I said, I didn't play this game long at all. After like those 4 or 5 hours of playing, I only played it like 2 days. My friends wanted to play a different open world survival craft game. I forgot what it was. So we played that and I stopped playing Misery. But eventually this is a game I would like to go back and play. And it would be even better with friends. Maybe one day I'll make a video on this. I would like to. This was a fun game. I really gotta go back and play it. Thus, let's see. Well, let's start at C tier. Better than Bellwright, yes. Better than Enshrouded, yes. Better than Return to Moira, yes. Better than The Forest, yes. Does it crack a B tier? I don't know. This is the one thing that's hard for me to... I played it so little of it that maybe it's not good, but I could see the potential of it being really good. So like, I really want to put it at a low B, but also I feel like I don't have enough experience with this game to put it up to a B. Maybe I don't actually like it that much. You know what? I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna not put it at low B. I'm gonna put it at top of C tier. Maybe if I played it more, it can be a low B. Like I said, I gotta go back and play that game. That game was really fun. All right, up next, Once Human. Now this game is really interesting. I played this game pretty much right when it first came out. It's a free-to-play open world survival craft game with a third-person shooter mechanics. Now, I really enjoyed this game the first time I played. Basically, you make your character, you're in a facility, you're like a test subject, and you have like powers. You escape the facility, you go to a house or something, you learn some lore. The lore is all right. I don't care about the lore. It was mainly about the gameplay. And that's when you find out you can find like these companions. Now, these companions are like anomalous objects. That's the thing with this game. A lot of it's like anomalous entities, and your job is kind of to like discover them, either stop the entity or make the entity your companion, right? There are different kinds of entities. Now, in this little tutorial zone where you're at the house, you learn the basics of the survival crafting, gather wood, stone, some metals, craft some basic gear, make yourself a gun, equip the companion. And then the house gets raided by like a giant entity and some smaller entities. And you just gotta defend the base. Which the base has some like turrets and stuff on it already. Once you defeat that wave, you get thrown into the actual open world section. Now, when I first played this game, not a lot of players. You know, it was new, not a lot of people playing. They probably had a bunch of servers. So I was able to build my house in a place I really like. Built myself some gear, built myself a vehicle. I think it was a motorcycle. There are like different towns with objectives you're supposed to do. And there are some like instances, some like dungeons, I guess you would call them, with bosses on them. Now the gameplay loop, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to find these bosses, defeat the bosses, get companions. I don't think there's an end game to it. Also, you can go to the different towns. Now the different towns have their own separate objectives. I remember every town had I think it was like a radio objective where each town had like 3 or 4 radios. Your objective was to get to the radio and like turn them on or off or something like that. I think there was also, each town also had like a combat objective where it's like defeat a boss or defeat a few waves of enemies. And some of the towns also had a companion objective. I remember one of my favorite ones was there's like this hospital. Now, when you enter the hospital, you're in the anomaly. Basically, you got to go through certain doors in a certain order in order to get to the companion. But there was a lot of lore in that building. It was very creepy, and I read the thing because it was very interesting. I enjoyed that area with the companion in the hospital. And there's also some enemies in there as well. But mainly that area was just lore. The enemies that keep you on your toes. But I enjoyed it. Now, it was fun, but eventually I got bored because the gameplay loop was kind of the same thing every time. Once you built your base and you built your weapons, you can upgrade them, sure, but it takes a while. And then the gameplay loop from there was kind of boring. Go to a new town, do the same 3 objectives, rinse and repeat until you complete like the map. I don't think PvP is a thing in that game. I think it's all PvE, which is fine. I don't care about PvP. I never play a game for PvP. I'm not a PvP kind of guy. I did recently end up going back to play this game, I think like 3 months ago or something. The beginning, pretty much the same. Make your character, leave the facility, fight the enemy at the town, and then go to the open world. The thing was, I don't know what happened. Either because the game is free to play, there's either a shit ton of players or bots, or they've like severely cut down the servers. Because there was not a single piece of land I could build on. There was a building like every 5 feet. Every single spot on the map was filled. I probably spent like an hour looking for somewhere I can build. Even a single foundation. Zero. When I first played this game was good. And I was really looking forward to playing the same game again like 3 months ago. It was not. It's either completely filled with bots or the servers have been cut down so much where they are just putting a shit ton of players on one server. You can't build. You can't do anything. All the resources are gone. There's 0 places to build bases. I literally couldn't progress because I couldn't build the base to build my weapons, to build my gear. And after like an hour of looking, I just said, fuck it, I don't want to deal with this base. And when I eventually do end up building a base, I don't want to have to deal with feeding with my neighbors to get resources. Thus, I'm gonna have 2 opinions on this game. When I first played the game, it was good, you know. I would have put it on a low B tier. The combat was fine. The survival mechanics were fine. The gameplay loop was fine. It was overall, it was pretty good. I would have put it on a low B tier for sure. But when I last played the 3 months ago, it severely tainted my opinion on this game. If I'm purely basing it off the new thing, it'll have to go to a high D tier, you know. But I'm gonna go on the middle ground here. It's gonna go in C tier. It's better than Bellwright? I would think so. If I'm thinking a medium, an average, was it better than Bellwright? Yes. Was it better than Shrouded? Yes. Was it better than Return to Moira? Yes. Average wise, it is not beating the Forest. If it was the first time, low B tier. If it was the last time, high D tier. Unfortunately, this game was just ruined by the live service thing. I really wanted to enjoy this game when I went play last time. I couldn't. The game is unplayable. It's not a good open world survival crafting game anymore as when it once was when it first came out. All right, next up, Outward. Now, I've only played this by myself. I haven't played with my friends. I'm assuming with friends it'll be pretty fun. I enjoy this game. This game basically wanted to do open world survival crafting, Dark Souls-like, you know? Basically, at the start of the game, you make your character, you find out that you were a part of a crashed boat, you return to your village with no money to your name, and you have a pretty nice house. And the people are pissed off to the boat's failure, and they kind of blame you for it, even though you're not the captain, but they blame you for it. And they want to take your house. You haven't paid rent, and you have no money to pay rent. So your first objective, gear up, go out into the world, make money, or get a pardon. And the cool thing is, if you don't do it in a certain amount of time, I think it's like 3 in-game days or something like that, then you will literally lose your house. You can't use that house anymore. Now this game is really teetering the edge of open world survival craft game. Because here's the thing, you do have crafting, right? You can make stuff at like workbenches and anvils stuff. But the thing is, those workbenches and anvils can only really be found in towns, and you don't craft buildings, right? You can't build a base out in the world. If you don't have your home, then you have to buy a room at a hotel, at an inn. You can also buy a tent and a bedroll, which that you can't place out in the world. I don't remember if you have to eat and drink. I'm pretty sure, no, you do have to eat and drink. I remember the mission where you have to get water. But yeah, if you're playing this game, it's for the combat. The combat is all right. It was trying to do Souls-like. It didn't do that well. The combat is slow and it's kind of clunky. It's not bad. It's close to a Souls game. And the fact that it's in an open world survival craft, which is pretty much one of the first of its kind. Open world survival craft, Souls-like. For what it was, it did fine. I enjoyed my time playing with it. You go to the towns, you get your missions, clear out enemies, get materials, either craft it yourself or go to the blacksmith. They can craft it for you. But yeah, I never really got past the first zone because there's a lot to do on the first zone. Like, I'm talking a shit ton. There's a shit ton of points of interest with enemies. In the middle of the first zone, there's like this giant mountain with a bunch of caves in it. And if you get to the middle of the cave, there is like a group of wizards, right? It's like the Mages Guild. Now, either in exchange for health or stamina, you can get mana, right? A mana bar. And with that mana, you can do magic. The magic was fine. I think at the beginning you can only do fire and like ice magic, but it's kind of like bending where you can't really create the fireball, right? So if you want to do fire magic, you have to carry around a lantern, and then that lantern, if you want to do like the fireball or something, it shoots it out of the lantern. Now you've got to keep this lantern fed, like, you know, have the oil for it so you can use the fire from the lantern. And then you've also got to use your own mana. The game was fine. I completed the first zone, probably done it like twice, and I never ended up progressing past that point. I'm sure the game would be good. I don't know if there is an ending to the game, since I believe the main story at the beginning was once you lose or save your house, you have 3 paths for the main story. 1, the captain of your crew is going back to his hometown and he wants you to come with him. 2, the daughter of the leader is basically gonna go join a faction and she wants you to come with her. 3, the leader of the village is gonna do some political shit and she wants you to come with him. Now, I don't know if you're actually locked into completing that quest, that main story, or maybe you're able to complete one of them and then go do the other one and then go do the other one. I don't know, but I never ended up getting past it because, like I said, I always just clear out the first zone and then I stop playing. And completing the first zone, like 100% pretty much completing it, doing everything there is to do in that first zone, takes a decent amount of time. It's like 15-20 hours. And just based off of the quests, I know there are definitely 3 new areas. There's probably some more in between there as well. I know Outward's getting a new game with Outward 2, which I am going to play for sure. But yeah, Outward, it's a fine game. This game is definitely, I'm going to put this low B tier. If I played this with my friends, maybe it would go a little bit higher. Maybe it would be just below Conan Exiles, but I don't see it going past Conan Exiles. It's fine. It's fine for what it is. And it executed its concept well enough. Anyways. Okay, next up, Palworld, the Pokemon killer. Nintendo, Pokemon, they fucking hate this game because Pokemon is fucking stagnant. They do the same thing every single time. And Palworld's like, I've had enough of this. We are now turning Pokemon into an open world survival crafting game. We are gonna be heavily inspired by your Pokemon, make our pals. And we're also gonna be very edgy. We're gonna give our pals guns, and we're gonna allow you to execute and eat your pals. It worked fucking great. I've been playing this game recently right now, and I've been playing it on and off ever since it came out. And Palworld was actually my first game series that I've did on this channel. And it was fucking terrible because I didn't have the audio figured out, so you can barely hear me through that entire playthrough. But you can hear my friends just fine. You can hear my friends clearly talking to me, and you can put your volume max and you're not going to hear me. God, that's so sad. Anyways, yeah, it's a good game. It's just open world survival Pokemon. I fucking love Pokemon. I fucking love open world survival craft. This game reminds me a lot of Ark Survival Evolved and Conan Exiles. Basically, start out in the world, get lightly geared up, catch some pals, build your base. You can talk to NPCs out in the world, do some minor quests. There is a main quest to this game, although it's not complete. It's going to be complete in a few days here, honestly. In 10 days, they're going to drop the 1.0 update, which means the game's going to be fully out. And there probably is going to be an end to the game. Right now, the way the game is structured is there are different zones, and each zone has a tower, a boss. Think of it like a gym leader in a Pokemon game. Now, you don't have to beat these bosses to go to all the zones, but for now, it's just an optional quest that you can do to progress, to feel like you're progressing. But there isn't an ended site right as now. Like I said, in 10 days, they're going to drop 1.0, and hopefully there is an ending. I would prefer a little bit more restrictions. Maybe you have to beat the first enemy, being Zoe, like the first gym leader, in order to get in the next zone where the second gym leader is, or something like that. I don't know. That's personal thing. That's my personal taste. But for what it is, it's a good game. Really good game, honestly. I find myself coming back to this game every like 6 or 8 months. I come back and play a bit of this game. I really want to play it right now. The thing is, the 1.0 update drops in 10 days. I played a little bit, but then I'm like, I should just wait. It's only 10 days, you know? Yeah, but once the 1.0 update drops, this shit's gonna be bomb. And you know, this company is actively putting up a middle finger to Nintendo, and they're in active lawsuits with them as well. This game is basically Nintendo. If you're not gonna fucking evolve Pokemon, I'm gonna do it for you. Yeah, and ever since this game came out, they tried new things. They did, what was it? Pokemon Arceus, I think it was. Which they tried to pull a Power World. They tried to do a little bit of open world survival craft, and they did. And then that game did fine. People liked it. And then they just went back to normal Pokemon, doing exactly what you did in all the other games, which was disappointing. People liked the open world crafting stuff of Arceus. They just didn't really flesh it out. And because they didn't flesh it out and it didn't do as great as they thought it would, as they hoped so, they just kind of threw it to the side. So it seems Nintendo didn't learn their lesson after all. But whatever, it's not really important to this tier list. All right, Power World, easy A tier. Is it better than Abiotic Factor? Yes. Is it better than 7 Days to Die? Oh, that's a tough one. That's the thing. These games are very different. Depending on the mood that I'm in, one will be better than the other. But they're basically on the exact same level. You know what? I'm going to put Power World right below 7 Days to Die. The thing is, Power World, like I said, its progression system, it's fine. There's no end in sight. Until the 1.0 update drops, it's going to stay under 7 Days to Die. 7 Days to Die knows its concept and executes it perfectly. Maybe it can surpass 7 Days to Die. But for now, they're like fighting for first place of A tier. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And talking about zombie games, next up, Project Zomboid. Me and my friends, we love this game. Project Zomboid. Project Zomboid isn't everyone's cup of tea. 100% I can understand that. Basically, top-down isometric game, but it's extremely in-depth, you know? Basically, you're literally just plopped down in the middle of a world-ending zombie apocalypse. Water, electricity, gas, it's running out. It's limited. Your job, gear up and get ready for when the power, water, and electricity runs out. It's basically just zombie simulator, the game. You can build bases, you can scavenge for loot, you can make gear, and it's a fun time. It's a fun time. When you're playing with friends, it's a really fun time. The one thing I don't like about this game is the infection. Obviously, zombie apocalypse, you get bit, you're gonna turn into a zombie. As a gameplay mechanic though, it's really annoying. Maybe this happened to me and my friends once. We sunk in hours, actual days with our character, and then maybe we were looting a building and a zombie sneaks up behind us and bites us. Boom, that's the end. We have like 1 day until our dude dies, turns into a zombie, and we lose all of the skills that we learned. Because I often play as a carpenter. Now, when you play as a carpenter, you know, you build furniture, you build buildings. Now, when you start off as a carpenter, I think you start off at like level 3. I think it's like every 3 levels, the furniture and buildings that you craft get better. They have more health, more storage space, stuff like that, you know? So when you die, you lose all of that progress. You have to make a new character and they go back to level 3 carpentry, which is really fucking annoying. But in the settings, you can turn it off where if you die, you don't lose that skill. I feel like that's kind of cheating a little bit, but that's preference. Preferably what me and my friends do is that we get a mod, the journal mod, which is basically you craft a journal, and in that journal you have to spend some time. Your guy will write down in the journal, so if your character dies, your new character can come back and read that journal, and it will give them back like 75% of the skills that you learned. Let's say when I died, I was level 10 carpentry. When I come back, I'll be like level 7, about to be level 8 carpentry or something, which is nice. Yeah, I prefer that. That's good. But that's pretty much my only gripe with the game is the zombification and leveling system, which can easily be changed by settings and mods. Other than that, this game's a fucking banger. Building your base, clearing out zombies, getting better gear. There is no end to this game. You know, it's a zombie apocalypse. What are you gonna do? Kill every single zombie on the planet? No, there's no escape either. You're stuck here in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. Your only goal is survive, and it's a fun time. It's a fun time. The game is what you make of it, like Kenshi. It's kind of like a story simulator. But yeah, it knows this concept and it executes it well. Thus, I'm gonna put Project Zomboid A tier. Better than Abiotic Factor? No. I think Abiotic Factor knows this concept and does it better than Project Zomboid. Yeah, I'm gonna put Project Zomboid at the bottom of A tier. Pretty good. All right, up next, Raft. Not gonna lie to you guys, I don't like this game. My friends, they love this game. They played this game a couple times. I find it to be boring as shit. From what I remember, you're put on a raft. I think there is a main story. I wasn't interested in it at all. You're put on the raft, you have a hook. There's a bunch of loot on the ocean. You use your hook to grab the loot, pull it in so you can use those materials to upgrade your raft and get better gear. Eventually you find islands. I think they're like traders. There's lore and quests you can do. There is a main story, although like I said, I was never interested. This game was too slow for my liking. Being trapped on the raft, I just didn't care for this game. I didn't play it long. I think I only played it for like 2 or 3 hours. It's fine. Some people are gonna love, like my friend, they love this game. I don't care for it. And there isn't much combat either. From what I remember, you're just building your base. Every once in a while, a shark will bite on your raft and you've got to kind of like poke them away. When you get to the island, there is some enemies there, but like the islands aren't the main point of the game. It's your raft. You're gonna spend 99% of the game on your raft. And that's like, I find that to be the most boring part of the game. That's the game. Anyways, definitely gonna put this D tier. Better than Icarus, yeah, sure. Better than Daisy, yeah, sure. Better than Medieval Dynasty. Ooh, that's a tough one. I think Raft and Medieval Dynasty are fighting for this point. You know what? I am gonna put it up above Medieval Dynasty. Medieval Dynasty, there was like nothing to do. It was boring. Raft, there is something to do. I just didn't enjoy that something. My friends did enjoy that something. I didn't. All right, next up, Rust. Now, I love watching content on Rust. I like the idea of playing Rust. I like the idea of socializing people and having fun and working together and making some hootenanny happen. Playing Rust is an entirely different thing. Rust is so fucking miserable to play. Because this is the thing with Rust. There have only been 2 times I've ever had fun playing this game. I've played this game probably like 20 times. Let me just lay out the typical solo gameplay and my experiences playing this game solo. You spawn in, you get killed by a dude in maxed out gear just because he saw you, just because he could. Rinse and repeat a couple times until you spawn away from that guy. Other scenario. You spawn, nobody nearby, you gather up some materials, you build your little hut, and you play the game until one of 2 things happens. Either a group of like 10 guys shows up, they see your little wooden hut, and they completely destroy it, either while you're in it, or while you're not even playing the game. And what did they get out of it? Some wood, some small materials, something that they would use for like 5 minutes. I put in like 3-4 hours of work into that. Now, I understand that's the appeal of this game, the PvP side of the game. But if I want to play PvP, I prefer it without mega tribes. I prefer the individual PvP. I would like if this game had tribes of a maximum of like 3-5 people. Any more than that, I wouldn't allow. But whatever, that's personal taste. I don't like that. Now, let me tell you about the 2 times I actually enjoyed playing this game. And both of them was because I said fuck it and just joined people. One, it was like nighttime. I ran into a group of naked tribes people. They're all like, hey, we're all naked. We have nothing. We're going to go destroy the small base, take some loot, and then we're going to build our own base. So that's what we did. We grouped up. I started making us a bunch of weapons. I think I ended up building everyone like a spear or something like that. The other guys ended up building bows. Another guy ended up getting some of us armor, and we ended up destroying that little base. There was nobody in it at the time. And then we regrouped, and then we built a base somewhere else. Small base. We all worked together. I had fun during that time. I left the game. I tried to come back, play the same server. I forgot the server's name. Never ended up playing with those people again. I would have had fun, but whatever. I forgot the server's name. Nothing I could do. The other time I had fun, a group of people were like, hey, we're inviting new people to join us, have some fun, play some games. I think there was probably like 10 of us or something like that. We got together, daytime. We all worked together, built a base. I came back to play that on that server like 2 or 3 times. First time, nobody on. I gathered up some supplies. Pretty much all I did. Second time, I think there were like 2 other people on there. We gathered up some supplies, and then I think we got raided by like 2 or 3 guys. But we actually, we had like bows and like those shitty pistols, and we were able to hold off because the other guys didn't have much. I think they had like the pistols. Maybe like one of them had like a rifle or something. And that was one of the only times I enjoyed playing Rust PvP. Me and these 2 guys held off our little 2-story house from getting raided. And we did kill like 2 of them. And I think one of them got away. It was a 3v3 PvP. We were defending our base. I enjoyed that. That was some good Rust gameplay. And I think I ended up playing one more time. I ended up getting some resources and there was nobody there. I think pretty much everyone moved out by then. And I was like, fuck, I don't really care anymore. I left the game. That was like 2 out of 20 times that I enjoyed playing the game. I don't want to play this game for like 50 hours just to enjoy like 2 hours of the time I actually played it. Rust just does not appeal with me unless if you're playing in like a mega tribe in your raiding, and that's not the kind of game that I like. I don't enjoy the mega tribe PvP gameplay. That's not for me. Thus, I can see the appeal of Rust. I'm gonna put Rust at the bottom of C tier. The times I did play and have fun, it was fun. I enjoyed it. But there's a lot more bad times than good times while playing that game. All right, next up, scrap mechanic. I like scrap mechanic. Scrap mechanic is fun. So basically, this game, survival crafting game, you can pretty much craft anything mechanical. Scrap mechanic, you know. I played this game with my friends a couple times. We end up building our vehicles. Typically, each one of us has some kind of travel vehicle, small, fast, carry a little bit of storage. There is usually a lumber vehicle, which is a vehicle with saws on it, so we can chop down lumber, collect the wood from it. And typically we do end up crafting like a mobile base, like a big RV or something. It's a chill game. It's a fun game. The one issue I have with this game is the enemy variety. I think we ended up playing this game for 20-30 hours, and we only ever saw like 3 different enemies, and they're super simple. They run up to you and they hit you, and you've got a rifle. Enemy variety 0, pretty much. But there was a really good moment I had while playing this game, which is in the world there are like these mega structures, which are like big dungeons, right? Now these dungeons are meant to be played with you on foot, right? But the thing is, me and my friend, we fucking outsmarted the system. We built this tiny little riot vehicle, which was like 4 blocks wide and like 3 blocks tall, with a bunch of guns. I think there were like 2 guns on the front and like 2 guns on the side. We ended up bringing this tiny little riot vehicle with a bunch of cannons on it, basically, and we cleared out that dungeon. That was really fun. That is my top favorite memory playing that game. That was fun. The creativity that you can do playing this game is fucking peak. But the thing holding it back are the enemies and the combat gameplay. The combat gameplay sucks. When there's only like 3 different enemy types, it's boring. Once you've seen it once or twice, it's diminishing returns, you know. If this game had like more enemy variety, I would have liked it a lot more, but it doesn't. It's kind of boring. Thus, I'm gonna put this as C tier, above Rust, above Bellwright, above Enshrouded, above Return of Mora, above Once Human, above The Forest, but below Misery. Okay, next up, Stranded Deep. This game reminds me a lot of Green Hell. Basically, you start off on a life raft. You've got to get to an island as you're being circled by sharks. Once you get to the island, you've got to survive. You go island to island. There is no main story. There is no end to this game. You can build a hut, you can build a big raft, but the bulk of this game is going on the island, getting resources, and getting materials in order to expand your raft. Now you can stay on an island. The thing is, those islands do have resources, but those resources replenish extremely fucking slowly, and it's not viable. You have to go island to island. So people just end up building bases on their raft. The combat is fine. You fight giant coconut crabs, you fight snakes. The survival element is there, but it's kind of annoying since you have to be constantly eating and drinking. But yeah, it's super simple. It's super bare bones. The game is very pretty. The underwater sections in this game, oof, fucking impressive, beautiful. But other than that, this game is very mid. You're gonna have fun for probably like 5-10 hours at most. Anything more than that, and you're gonna quickly become bored. Diminishing returns, you know. Definitely not a D. It's going up to C. Does it beat Rust? Yes. Does it beat Bellwright? No. Yeah. No, if this game had more to do, it would definitely be a lot better. But it doesn't. All you do is upgrade your raft. Then you're probably asking yourself, why is this above Raft then? I find that game to be extremely fucking boring. Stranded Deep is interesting. It's gritty. It's realistic. But it's also that realism which brings it down, because the survival mechanics are very intense. I prefer more intense games than passive slow games. So I just find Stranded Deep to be better than Raft. Alright, anyways, Subnautica. Subnautica, the classic underwater survival game. This game doesn't need introduction, but I'm going to give it anyways. Your ship has crash landed. You escaped on an escape pod. Your job, figure out a way to escape the planet. And as you play through the game, you discover lore. You discover there used to be an alien species on here. You use those resources, craft yourself materials, some equipment, a base, discover the lore, figure out a way to escape the planet, build your own rocket ship, and leave. This game relies heavily on your fear of the ocean. And the thing is, eventually I'll make a video on it, but I don't get scared. It's very difficult to make me scared. I played through this game once fully, and then I played probably through like half of the game another time. I actually 100%ed this game. One of the few games I've 100%ed. Thing is, this game actually doesn't have a lot to do. That's my criticism about this game. This game doesn't have a lot to do, and the scariness of this game, which is what it's kind of relying on, isn't that good. Once you realize how the creatures work, you can easily avoid them, and they're not really a threat. The thing everyone is afraid of this game is the Reaper Leviathan, big white and red looking sea monster. But once you play this game for long enough, you realize they're only trapped in like 2 zones. They're never going to leave those zones. You can literally edge them at the end of the zones. They will not go past like a certain area. There are a few more monsters later on that you'll see, but they're not really threats. The only other threat other than the Reaper Leviathan I ever felt threatened by was at the deepest part of the ocean, which is where you see the Sea Emperor. But when I played it, the Sea Emperor ended up chasing my giant boat and me out of the cavern, and then I came in through the other side of the cavern, and the dude ended up getting stuck on the one side. So he was never in that deep water zone again, the like underwater lava zone. So I kind of bugged him out, and he was never an issue after that. So the only threat was the Reaper Leviathan. And like I said, the Reaper Leviathans are trapped in their tiny little zone, and you only really have to go into that zone like once. And there are more enemies, but they're really not worth mentioning. They either do no damage enough to be threatening, or they just kind of ignore you, unless if you get right in their face. The survival crafting, like I said, there's a lot to be desired. You have to build your base and like 3 or 4 crafting stations, and you unlock everything you need to learn. So once you build all crafting stations, that's it. There's no more progression other than like completing the main story. That's it. The one good thing about the survival crafting mechanism is that before you can build those crafting stations, you have to discover like the blueprints to them. And the way you discover them is by going to the wreckages, like the different wreckages, where you have to scan those crafting stations. Surprisingly, super bare bones game. After I completed the game the first time, like fully completed it, I could tell you can complete that game in like 10 hours. The game is actually super short. The game was fine. I'm definitely gonna have to put this little B tier. It doesn't have much replay. Once you played it through once, it doesn't really have replayability, as there's no random generation. You know where everything is. You know what you're supposed to do. Like I said, once you put it through once, you can complete that game in like 10 hours at most. It's fine for what it is. All right, next up, Terraria. This game is fine. I was never a big Terraria guy. Back in the day, it was like Terraria versus Minecraft. I was team Minecraft. I wasn't team Terraria. I do end up playing this game probably like once every like year and a half or something. This game does have 2 scenarios, 2 storylines, I guess you can say. There is the Crimson scenario and the Void scenario, I think it is. Basically, the world's going to be corrupted by like this red flesh thing or this purple flesh thing, which is like the final boss, depending on which scenario you chose. Now, as you're playing through the game, there are a bunch of other bosses as well. And what you're supposed to do is you start off the game by building your base. And basically, the game is a lot bigger vertically than it is horizontally. You can walk across the map in like 10 minutes. It's small. But going vertically, that's where you're going to spend like an hour going down. This is a cave game, you know, it's a 2D game. It's not 3D. Basically, you're going to spend a majority of your time going down into a cave and like going down deeper and deeper and deeper. You're going to fight more enemies. You're going to get loot. You're going to discover new zones and get new materials to craft a better equipment. And you kind of do that until you're strong enough to beat the bosses. I did end up playing this with my friends probably like twice. We did end up beating one of the bosses, which I think was a giant skeleton, if I'm not wrong. I don't know if there's an end to this game. I think you just beat the final boss of your scenario, and I think that's it. The point of this game is replayability, because it is randomly generated. Very similar to Minecraft, honestly. Thing is, Minecraft is 3D, and Terraria is 2D. This game is fine. I never itched to play this game. Maybe if there's nothing else I want to play, maybe I'll play this game every once in a while. Like I said, it's an every year and a half thing. But yeah, I'm going to put this game B tier, just above Subnautica, but below Outward. All right, up next, Unturned. Unturned saw what DayZ was, and they decided to do it better. I think it released shortly after DayZ, if I'm not wrong. Basically, it's a cubic DayZ. They wanted the art style of Minecraft, but they wanted the gameplay of DayZ, and they improved upon it. Now in this game, you make your character, drop into the world, you loot, kill zombies, level up. This game actually has leveling, unlike DayZ, and you can actually build bases and shit in this too. Although it's not really in depth. Like when you play this game, you're not going to play it to build bases. You're going to play it to get some loot, get really strong, clear out a town, and then don't touch it for like a year or two until you decide to nostalgia strip. But yeah, pretty bare bones. A lot of these DayZ-like games are super bare bones. But yeah, all you need to know, it's pretty much just block DayZ. D tier, no, I think it's better than a D tier. C tier, bottom of C tier, 100%. All right, next up, Valheim. Now, me and my friends, we fucking love this game. This game is really fun. You're Viking in the afterlife. I think you're trying to get to Valhalla or something, but you've been tasked by Odin to stop all the evils, right? In order to do that, you've got to beat a bunch of bosses. Now, each boss is a separate zone. I think there are like 8 or 9 different bosses. I think I've gone up to like 4 or 5 bosses. I believe the last boss I fought was the giant dragon. Yeah, I fought the giant dragon, the ice dragon. Yeah, this game's good. You start off the game, you make your Viking, you build the little base, you build your gear, you beat the first boss, which is a deer. You do pretty much right off the bat. Once you beat the deer, you have to go to the next area, which is the Black Forest. You get new materials from there. You also fight new enemies like the giant troll. And then eventually you beat the boss, which is the Elder, which is basically just a giant tree. And then you go to the next area, which is the swamp. New materials, new gear. You beat the boss. Giant poison guy, massive bones, I think it is. You beat that area. You have to go to the mountaintops, which is Ice Zone. New materials, new gear. Beat the dragon. And then this is where I last left off, is you go down to the plains, which is filled with like goblins, mosquitoes, giant bear-looking oxes. New materials, new gear. The gameplay loop is go to a zone, get gear, build base, defeat boss, rinse and repeat. But yeah, the combat is good. The base building is also good. The enemy variety is also really good. The thing I like is that your base gets raided, but every time you beat a boss, they upgrade, like the raids. Maybe at the beginning, you fight the little tree people. After you beat the tree people, you'll fight like a troll that raids your base. Once you beat the third one, you'll have to fight skeletons and maybe a troll or two. Once you beat the fourth one, you have to fight like these little dragon thingies, like flying manta rays that shoot lightning at you. Yeah, it's good. I do have to go back and finish that game eventually. I don't know if the game is fully released. I think it is fully released. I don't know if there is an ending or not. All I know is that you got to defeat the bosses, all the bosses. But yeah, definitely going to go A tier. Better than Project Zomboid, yes. Better than Abiotic Factor, yes. Better than Power World. Ooh, that's a tough one. You know what? I am going to put it right above Power World. But it's definitely not better than 7 Days to Die. Yeah. Now, I stuck these 3 together. I'm going to call these the Minecrafts. You got Minecraft, obviously. You got Vintage Story. And then you got Hytale, which presents itself as like the Minecraft killer. All right, let's start off base Minecraft. Now, like I said at the start of the video, we're going to be talking about the latest base version of the game. We're not going to be talking about beta. We're not going to be talking about 1.12. We're not going to be talking about modded. If I were to boot up Minecraft right now and play the latest version, this is the version I'm talking about when I'm talking about Minecraft. Now, Minecraft is like the poster child of the open world survival craft. Everybody knows what Minecraft is. People who've never touched the game in their life know what Minecraft is. Minecraft is a brand. People know what Minecraft is. Minecraft is the most basic survival game you can play. You create your world, you build your base, you get some gear, you build a farm, you get some animals, you fight off some monsters at night. Eventually, you'll go to the nether, you'll go to the end, you'll beat the nether dragon, and you'll beat the game. Minecraft knows what it is, and it doesn't try to be more, and it doesn't try to be less. When you talk open world survival craft, you think Minecraft. You compare every game, every single one of these games on this tier list gets compared to Minecraft. Now, base game, it's fine. It works the way it is. You mod this son of a bitch, this can become one of the best games of all time. On paper, Minecraft is literally the best game of all time. Base game, it's all right. Minecraft, top of B tier. When your whole brand is being the poster child, being the base of every open world survival craft, you don't want to really specialize or do anything, right? The thing that's special about Minecraft is that it's cubes. That's pretty much it. Other than that, super basic. And it does everything it does well. Put some mods in that, perfect game. All right, Vintage Story. Vintage Story, from what I know, was made by some modders for Minecraft. They wanted Minecraft, but they wanted it more realistic, more difficult. And it's fine. It does what it does fine. I ended up playing this a couple times. I never really end up playing more than 2 or 3 hours because I get confused as to what I'm supposed to do. And the crafting in this game is extremely complex and difficult. Not only do you have to deal with that, but you have to deal with like seasons, nature, temperature, and it gets extremely overwhelming. I know that's what the devs were looking to do. As a new player, it's extremely difficult and intimidating to play. I've tried playing this game. I've tried liking this game. I can't. It's too much for me. If I want to play Minecraft, I want to have a chill time. I don't want to play Minecraft Extreme Difficult Edition. If I want to play a difficult game, I've got Dark Souls. If I want to play a chill game, I got Minecraft. The meshing of those two different things, for me, it just doesn't do it. Thus, I'm going to put this at C tier. Above Unturned, above Rust, above Stranded Deep, but just below Battlefront. All right, and the final game on the list. Finally, Jesus. I've been recording for almost 4 hours. I've been really choosing my words as careful as I can here. Final game on this list, Hightail, the Minecraft Killer. Oh shit, I accidentally, oh fuck. All right, it's too late, I'm just gonna hold on to it. The Minecraft Killer. This game came out recently, sometime this year. Everybody was playing it when it first came out. Hasn't gotten too many updates since. It's been kind of dying off a little bit. I enjoy it. I can see huge potential in this. Thing about Minecraft, it is the open world survival game. Thus, it doesn't want to do more and it doesn't want to do less. Hytale is Minecraft that is willing to do more. That is a bit more specialized than Minecraft. Hytale is just Minecraft with improved visuals, improved animations, improved combat, improved maneuverability. It's gonna have an improved story. It just hasn't been fleshed out yet because it's new. And like I said, this game just came out. So it's in bare bones. It's in Minecraft beta version right now. This is what Hytale is. Thus, a lot of the things it wants to do, it's missing. And is actively being worked on. Right now, I would put this game just above Outward. But I feel like if they keep on working on this game can easily become right above Abiotic Factor. It could be just under Power World if they are able to pull it off. But for now, for what it is, right above Outward. But yeah, that's my list. Oh god, this video took so long to make. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, clearly king of the open world survival crafting game, it has to be Ark. Although 7 Days to Die is literally just a few brownie points off from Ark. I think if 7 Days to Die had like a story and like an ending, it would be right up there with Ark, but it doesn't, so it's at the top of it. And at the bottom of our list, Icarus, Daisy. Icarus, most boring fucking game I've ever played. Daisy was a pioneer of its genre, the open world survival craft with zombies. Some realistic PvP. Thing about this game is that it's heavily focused around PvP, so the survival craft element isn't really taken into account for too much. But yeah, that's pretty much everything there. Let me guys know what you think of this tier list. Would you move around any of these other games? And if I were to include some other games that you guys have played before that I haven't, where would you place them on this list? Please recommend me some other open world survival craft games. This is one of my favorite genres, and I would love to play some new ones if they're good. I've been really looking at RuneScape, Dragonwald, except I've been kind of waiting for them to update it because I know when it came out, people said it was kind of bare bones, but maybe after like a year or two, it'll get really good. But for now, I'm just kind of waiting for that. All right, I've been recording for damn near 4 hours. I'm gonna go eat, gonna relax for a bit, and then I'm gonna edit this video because this has to be out by fucking tomorrow. Oh fuck, you'll guys see this tomorrow. All right, end of video. Bye.